In this video, you are going to learn about a technique called the yes breath, which I didn't make up. It was created by Gay Hendricks of the Hendricks Institute. So I'm going to move over to my gym to show you how to physically do this amazing breathing technique that will help you to relax and be happier. And actually, one of the things about breathing is you got to let your belly out when you inhale. And we get worried about that because our bellies, that's where we tend to collect a lot of body fat. But the ironic thing is, the more you do these breathing techniques, actually it can help you to have a stronger and leaner and slimmer belly. So if that doesn't motivate you, I don't know what will. Enjoy. The yes breath is a breathing technique that was developed by Dr. Gay Hendricks of the Hendricks Institute. He and his wife Katie have developed hundreds of tools to help people to come back to who they are and get in touch with their core being, which is called the essence, and to face our fears and to move through life consciously, intentionally, and with love. And so the yes breath can be seen really as a very basic foundational technique to help you to get in touch with your core essence, which is about your being at your core. It's really about pure love and pure being. So it's a beautiful, beautiful place to be. We all have it, and getting in touch with it can really change your life. So the yes breath can help you with that, but it can also help you with basic stress management and just feeling good, overcoming difficult situations, reducing nervousness, reducing stress, helping you to fall asleep. It's amazing. So I'm going to show you how to do the yes breath. We can do it sitting down, we can do it standing up. We're going to start with sitting down. And this is welcome to my home gym. So when you do the yes breath, you can use any chair that you want, but you want to make sure that your feet are on the floor, most likely. That would be the best way to do it. And to start off, you're going to breathe using your body. Now, the movement is kind of like a pivot of the hips forward, or the hips back, and then forward, and then back, and then forward. And what happens is when you pivot your hips back, your lower back gets a little bit of a natural arch. And when you pivot them forward, your lower back kind of curves around. So I want you to start by just sitting down and doing this movement of pivoting your hips forward and back just a couple times. You gotta sit on the edge of your chair and your feet should be on the ground. Okay, so once you get that motion down, pivoting forward, back, and then forward. It feels like you're coming forward because your upper body is opening up and moving out and forward. And then when you come back and curve your lower back and pivot your hips forward, your upper body is kind of curving in. So it's this very natural movement. Now, Gay Hendricks talks about how fetuses, so babies in utero, how they make this natural movement even though they're not breathing yet. They're still in the amniotic fluid, and yet they have this natural motion. So it's a very natural motion for human beings. Feels good just to do this. You don't want to throw your back out or anything, just a very gentle, subtle movement. And you may notice that when you open up your chest and your hips pivot back and your lower back curves in, your chin may come up a little bit. And when you go do the opposite, your chin may go down. So with this motion, it almost looks like you're nodding yes. And that's why they called it the yes breath. So we're going to add the breath to this. And the way this will happen is that you're going to inhale when your hips pivot back and your back is arching, right? So you're going to inhale, exhale. We don't have to do it yet. I'm just showing you the motion. Inhale, exhale. And when you're doing the breathing, you want to always breathe through your nose and keep your lips closed, completely closed. Now, if you have a lot of congestion in your nose or sinus problems and that's really hard, then obviously open your mouth. But if you can, keep your mouth closed and only breathe through your nose. And that is going to help to stimulate the relaxation part of your nervous system, your autonomic nervous system. It's called the parasympathetic of the autonomic nervous system. So when you breathe through your nose, you're automatically stimulating the relaxation activity in your nervous system, which is great, right? That's what we all kind of need, right? To relax a little bit. So we're going to try this on for 3 breaths, sitting down. Remember, you're pivoting your hips back and you're arching your back, opening your chest, lifting up your chin a little bit. And you don't want to throw your head back or throw your head down. It should be quite a subtle movement. Okay, so we're going to inhale through the nose and exhale. And that's the yes breath. Now I'm going to stand up and show you how to do it standing. And there's a really important part to this that I want to emphasize to you while we're standing, but it's just as important when you're sitting. And that is that when we breathe, we want to be breathing from the belly. So your diaphragm is here, and your diaphragm moves and it contracts and it expands with your breath. It's a very amazing muscle that facilitates breathing. So I'm going to show you from the side. When you do the yes breath, it's the same motion. Your hips are pivoting back, and your lower back is arching, and your chest is coming out, and your chin is up. So again, it's the same motion that imagine a baby. But what we're going to do, we'll do 3 yes breaths just like that, but I want you to pay attention to your belly this time. What happens with your belly and your chest when you breathe? Okay, so we're going to inhale and exhale. How did that feel? So what we want to, healthy breathing, if you look at babies when they breathe, their belly rises when they breathe. It rises and it falls, and that's healthy breathing. So when you breathe, you want to feel the breath coming from your belly first. So your belly rises and then your chest rises, not the other way around. So that's belly breathing. So you can put your hands here to watch the motion. So when you breathe, this time we're going to do another breath. I want you to pay attention to what part of your body moves first. Is it your belly area or your chest area? Okay, ready? So inhale. Exhale. So we want the breath to come from the belly, and sometimes that's hard. It was really hard for me to learn this technique. And what I realized was that the movement of the hips, it's almost like a pumping motion. That really helped me to breathe from my belly. So when you breathe from your chest first, that's disordered breathing that can come from physical or emotional trauma or both. It can come when you're stressed, when you're nervous, when you're tired, it happens. But some people just are perpetually breathing with their chest, and that's usually due to some kind of physical or emotional trauma, and that's hard to work through, but make an effort. And the thing about these breathing techniques is that you don't want to force it. You don't want to force it. It's just a gentle motion, just doing whatever you can. Don't force it. So now this time I want you to have your hands on your belly and your chest, and try, if you can, to get that belly to expand first. And when you do that, you may notice that your hands come apart a little bit, and then when you exhale, they come closer together. So again, it's this motion. And when you inhale, let that belly relax. I know we're taught to suck it in and hold those abs tight. Well, when you're breathing, let that relax when you inhale. Just let it push out, almost like a baby with a big belly. And then when you exhale, you can tuck it in a little bit and just feel the belly button tucking in. You don't want to crunch it in, you're just a light tucking in of the belly button, okay? So we're going to do this again, letting your belly expand first. So ready? We're going to inhale and exhale. Again. Exhale. Again. Now you see it's subtle, but you can see my hands moving in and out. That is the yes breath. Now I want to take it one step further. Thinking of your breath as a metaphor. So what this means is when you're breathing, you can imagine that when you're inhaling, you're receiving all that this world and the universe has for us. Love, health, prosperity, fun, happiness. We want to receive all of this with the in-breath. And then with the out-breath, with the exhalation, that's when we give. We give love, we give health, we give prosperity, we give happiness to other people. We're here to receive, but we're also here to give. Your happiness doesn't come just from receiving or just from giving. And a lot of women, we tend to give, and then, well, I'll take care of myself later. So we want to get the equal receiving and the giving. And your breaths, when you do it, you could even try to count up to 6 for each piece of the breath, right? So 6 on the inhalation, 6 on the exhalation. And what I'm going to work, so for now, this is the yes breath. I just want you to think about that. But I'm going to make other videos about thoughts that you can put through your head while you're doing the yes breath to facilitate more giving and more receiving and more happiness. And I recommend that you do the yes breath for, if you can, 2 minutes in the morning and 2 minutes at night, and then throughout the day as needed. If you feel stressed out, if you feel like you just had a really stressful conversation with somebody, go into the bathroom or your bedroom or somewhere where you can be alone and do the yes breath for 2 minutes and just see what happens. It's incredible. Now, if you're struggling with eating stuff, you can also do the yes breath before a meal to get your awareness into what it is that you really want. And we'll talk more about that kind of thing. But you can use the yes breath as a tool to bring awareness, to calm yourself down, to help you fall asleep at night. It's an amazing tool. And we have to thank Gay Hendricks and Katie Hendricks for bringing this breathing technique to the world. So I hope that this is useful for you. If you have any questions, please let me know.